So, you went to Mount Sinai secondary school and primary school.
Yep, I did indeed.
But in terms of your experiences there, obviously there were some ups and downs. Can you tell me a little bit about your fond memories?
I remember when I when I went to Mount Sinai first, into the babies as I call them. I had a lovely teacher in the first class, a Miss Hinnigan. But no way did I want to go into the second class. And you know how she got me in? She said to me one day, "Would you bring those books into Miss O'Shea for me, like a good little boy?" And like a good little boy, I did, but the minute I got inside the door was closed, key turned, I was in second babies. That's how fast I got there. No, I enjoyed all the primary part of it. Good teachers, we had good fun. We had our downs all right, you know, if you just misbehaved in any way, like, you know, you might get the odd clip in the ear or something that keep you quiet for a while. But apart from that, I survived.
Yeah, I heard it being called the slaughterhouse at one stage because of the treatment in there. Was that a bit exaggerated, do you think?
Well, to my mind it was, yeah. To my mind, I never saw it. Nor, like I say, most of the people I knew, I never heard them talking about it. We often laughed about it. You know, you catch you sometime, one man, by the side of the locks of your face and lift you a bit, and on the way back you might get a knuckle into the face. But it wasn't that painful or anything, you know. We often laughed about it afterwards. No.
But would you think, as well, you know, smoking, would you think that would be down to Bridgie Welsh?
Well, she helped. She was the the flame of faith. You go in there, you get your cigarette, sometimes you'd have half a cigarette, but she'd have the newspaper and light all the boys up like as cigarettes. It was grand.
What do you mean by half cigarette now?
Well, if you hadn't the price of a full cigarette, she'd sell you half of one. Sell somebody else the other half. Cut it in halves. Yeah. Very accommodating. And it was a break from the school as well, you know, you wouldn't want to be in the schoolyard just playing, so you got out to Bridgie Welch's for a smoke if you smoked, or maybe we just called me Halfpenny Square toffee. You'd have that, or Peggy's Legs, all those things there years ago. You know, passed the time, good time.
And a Halfpenny Square, what was that? Can you tell me a bit more about it?
It was Sharp, I think Sharp's made it. It was there might be about 12 of them in a slab. Toffee, lovely brown toffee. And you broke them off into small little squares. But as the fellow said one time, there was eating and drinking in them. You know, I put it into your mouth and you could have a good half an hour to an hour sucking this thing, you know. Dare you do it in the school, because if you were asked a question you couldn't answer with the halfpenny square in your mouth.
And down the back of Bridgie's, I heard that people used to go smoking.
Pardon?
Down the back behind Bridgie Welch's, apparently people used to go smoking.
Oh,
there used
yeah.
to be old gas or petrol cans down there.
Or the toilets, like anywhere at all,
Yeah.
you know, you see the smoke rising from the doors and coming out, like, you know, as long as the brothers didn't see it.
And what happened if they did? Is there any events that did?
Oh, you got a fair walloping, all right, you know.
Yeah.
It didn't stop you smoking, though. You know what I mean? People just said, I was caught in the story.
Were there any occasions that you've seen somebody being caught?
Yeah, I remember caught in the wrong. I remember one day a brother went out to the toilets after a fellow who went out. And then he came back in, and when the young fella came back in, he got it. But he copped on after, it wasn't him at all, it was another fella came in after him who was doing the smoking, so, you know. But there was no compensation in those days. You just took your medicine, that was it, you know, that was it.
And what do you think of the classrooms? What about the desks?
Oh, the classrooms were big. And you had these partitions. In the downstairs part now, where I was first in the secondary school, the partitions would be pulled back on some occasions, a big occasion. But otherwise, like, the desks were primitive. There was nothing fancy about them. You had the inkwell in the usual hole, and the fancy desk had a slide you could put over the inkwell. You know what I mean? We all had them. Yeah.
You were saying a story to me there before about something that happened with an inkwell.
Oh, one of the lads in our class, he smoked under the desk one day, but didn't realise that the inkwell was gone out of the inkwell holder, and the smoke came up through the little hole, and he was caught, he just dropped under the thing, just would take a puff, and as he blew it out, it came up to up to the hole again. There were some very good things that happened from time to time, kept us sane anyway.
Yeah. Where did the furniture come from?
That I don't know.
Yeah. 'Cause I heard.
Probably Hearn's, the cabinet factory probably used to do a lot of the furniture at that time, yeah.
Yeah. And where was Hearns? Hearns wasn't on Barrack Street, was it? Well, they were.
No, Hearn's were down in Jenkins Lane, the back of the Savoy Cinema, up in there. It went on fire afterwards. It went on fire.
And another character along Barrack Street would be Daddy Curtis.
Yeah, the chemist, the pharmacist as we call him, yeah. He was renowned for cures. Whatever he was wrong with you, go down to Daddy Curtis and you get it, but he seemed to be very good at whatever he had for warts. And we knew him as Daddy Warts because, I don't know if it was his daughter or somebody working in the shop, if we went in and she just shouted into him, Daddy Warts, and he come out then, so we just knew him as Daddy Warts. A lovely man, gentleman, a dignified man, looked the part. You trusted him. Very good.
I was talking to Kathleen and she was saying that he used to come across the road with bananas and, well not bananas, well oranges and apples and stuff like that and say Santa dropped these down the wrong chimney. It's probably the front door, isn't it? I suppose okay. Okay. Yeah, but Daddy Curtis, you were talking about Daddy Curtis and actually sorry I was talking about Daddy Curtis and what Kathleen was saying was she used to think he was a very kind man, but she was always worried because he was a Baptist apparently that he wouldn't get into heaven.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah. But would that have, because there's himself and there was the Jew man, as children, would that have kind of made you have different opinions about them?
No.
No?
I don't think that entered any of our minds. Protestant, Catholic, Jew man, it made no difference. To us when we were going to Mount Saint, just boys, that's all. And later on in life, maybe girls.
Yeah. But what kind of stuff, when you went into the shop, what kind of stuff could you buy?
Everything. It was a sweet shop. You know what I mean? Sweets, and I think she had newspapers as well. We were buying that. But she was a general little store,
Yeah. And in Daddy Curtis's, what would it kind of look like? Was it?
Oh, a real pharmacy shop. A real pharmacy, yeah. The real thing.
Was it wooden or glass or?
That I can't fully remember. But I know the bottles for medicine years ago, the different, the names of medicines, the lovely shaped bottles and something very dignified about the product, and it's love going in there.
Yeah. And the lotions and the potions and all these things that he'd give you, when you put it on, would it? I heard that it might sting as well.
Well, some of them did, yeah, but I think people had a lot of faith and trust in him, even young people, you know what I mean? If Daddy Curtis says that's going to be okay, that was okay by us. We believed him, that was it,
And what did the doctors around think of him?
The which?
The doctors, the medical profession, did they think anything of him? Or?
No, it's never discussed really, no. He was a good pharmacist and that was it.
Yeah.
A lot of them at that time were, like, you'd often go down maybe for a cough bottle that might be entitled The Mixture. You know what was in it. There was another one we used to get there too, I think it was called Parish's Food. You had to take it through a straw or to blacken your teeth. But we used to have to get that because for the straw, a glass tube, it wasn't just a straw, glass little tube. we have.
Yeah, I haven't seen any photographs of him. What did he look like?
He was low-sized, white hair. As I said, very dignified looking gentleman. Reminded me of President Higgins, only more hair. You know, but that size, that style of person, you know.
And then another man that apparently his physique was quite, well, the way he dressed and everything was quite interesting, was a Jew man.
Yeah. I can't really place him now. I was often in there, but I can't place what he looked like. You see, we'd have had more seen Daddy courses going up and down to school. I was living on Broad Street, so I passed the shop every day, going up and coming down and going back again. So you'd see him inside in the shop. So, you know what I mean? Whereas the Jew man was down the little lane off Barrack Street. You wouldn't have as much access to him unless you were going in to sell him something.
Yeah, and say when you were in school as well, it's the same school, is it?
Pardon?
The Mount Sign, it's the same?
Yeah.
Or has it changed?
It's all changed. Of course, it's gone the new buildings and all the rest they put up. But the old monastery is still the same, and I haven't been, the hall is built in the front there as well, so the old school is still intact behind it, I don't know. There was a stairway up to that for the upstairs part.
And you used to call it Mount Sign?
Pardon?
You used to call it Mount Sign when you were in school, did you?
Oh yeah, Canuck Sheen. We used to speak Oscalia, so it's known as Canuck Sheen.
And what was that? What's I was going to say? Sorry, Darren. Say when you're out at lunch, what kind of noises would you hear from around? Would the cattle market and all those, you know, the Ballybricken market?
No, you wouldn't hear it that far away, no. It's a fair distance across. You have to go across Green Street and onto the, you know, unless now that people are bringing cattle down Barrack Street, which could happen in that time as well, I suppose, you know. If they're coming in from the Cork Road side, they might come up Bunkers Hill way with some pigs or who knows, to get over onto the hill.
It's hell of a trek up that hill now with pigs.
But going to school now, the fair day was a big thing because there'd be a certain amount of absenteeism. You know, fellas coming in the next day, where were you yesterday? As they'd be saying, I had to mind the house, as if the house was going to go away, you know what I mean? But in actual fact, they could be over on the fair minding cattle or sheep or something, you know what I mean? What have you?
And what were the smells like around then?
Hmm?
What were the smells like? Would you be able to smell it?
Not so, yeah. I mean, if you didn't take any notice of it, you know. If you were on the hill, you get it all right, you know. But it's, I don't know, it's just part of the culture, which it minds.
And when in school or down around Barrack Street, or even in general, what kind of games would you have played?
I suppose the main one was hurling. Then we played football, if you're lucky, you know, especially back in the old war days. I mean, to get a ball was a big thing. You know what I mean? You wouldn't get and often the rubber balls you'd have might tear. I know a friend of mine, his father was a tailor, and he'd stuff the ball with bits of cloth and sew it up. And we'd be playing with that, no bouncing it anymore. But if you got a belt for it, you know you were alive, you know what I mean? Big thick ball hit you in the face. But no, you made do with the circumstances at that time. I'm going back now, what, 70 odd years more even, 75 years maybe. So there's been a lot of changes since then.
And were there different kind of games for guys and girls around the streets then at that stage?
Were they what?
Different kind of games then between the girls and the guys, what they play?
The girls were different. They had the ropes around poles for swings and that. You know, you wouldn't see a pole with a rope hanging out. And they used to play all these funny games, bedgies and hopscotch and all that sort of, with rhymes attached to them. No, we were tougher than that. We didn't get involved in that. We followed them when they got bigger, that's all. We left them alone when they were younger. That was it.
And you were saying something about Chinese there before. Was it Chinese?
Chinese, yeah.
Chinese.
Although, yeah, people are called Chinese as well, like, you know, yeah. They had glass ones, and there was the bigger one, which was called a thaw. If you got a belt of that, they could crack open But 3 holes, just made 3 holes in the ground. And it's a way of putting your knuckle down to get the china in to go in. But some fellas had what they called a cunny knuckle. They could bend the fingers in such a way like they got about that much more advance on their shot. They said they ran some cunny knuckle. You know, pitch and toss, that was fairly common too. You know, pitch and toss.
And what I loved are the nicknames as well, which I think are lost nicknames.
Well, I said that to somebody recently and said, I know the different people, the nicknames are there, but they don't use them as much. But years ago, like, you had an awful lot of nicknames, you know, even on the brothers and the teachers, you know what I mean? Nobody got away with it. They stuck a name on you and it went with you maybe through the school years and sometimes afterwards, you know. You see it in the papers the present day. You could see, if a fella had a nickname, would say like, just say Rashers. You might see John Murray and in brackets, Rashers, just to describe which John Murray it was. You know what I mean? The nickname he had all his life would put in the paper as well sometimes, yeah.
But would it ever kind of make you wonder where they got the names from?
Yeah, often did, but some you don't understand, you know. Like, for instance, the character in town years ago used to be down around Michael Street, the dummy sinner. Well, he was a dummy, but that was his name. People say, I passed up today, your man was there, who? The dummy sinner. So you knew immediately who he was talking about. So you got different titles like that as well, you know.
Yeah. And when you were going to school, what kind of food would you bring? You'd bring food from home?
No. I during the war, for people who had no father, right? They had a little scone and a small little bottle of milk. And I applied for it. When my father died, I was a year and a half, so I presumed I had no father. Now told me that I was getting the free milk, she was going to kill me. Like, I wasn't. They meant poor people who hadn't a father, you know what I mean? I was enjoying lovely crusty bone every day. But no, generally speaking, I wouldn't bring food to school, no.
Yeah. How long would you have been in school for then?
How long was I in school?
Well, in terms of the day.
Oh, the day started at 9. I think we're home, well, in the primary, we'd be home around 3 o'clock. And the secondary, I think, just 4 o'clock. You know, he's an hour for lunch. I was lucky, I was living near the school. I could go home, you know. So anyone who couldn't go home. But I don't remember any particular facility where you could go in and have your lunch. You could go out into the yard and open your bag and hope some tough nut didn't come along to help you to share it, you know, just do the best you could to have it.
Or if you had the cash to go next door to Bridgie or something to get a...
Oh no, you wouldn't
couple
get the
of,
sweets, no,
yeah.
you didn't, no. I don't know, but there wasn't, when you think of all the facilities they have today, we hadn't any of that, you know. But they had, we'd go to outings as well from time to time. You might get a trip, but we went up one time to Dungarvan on a bus, and that was a very big thing at that time, to go 30 miles out of town on a bus, you know what I mean? And no exercise that night. Oh, there's a plus in that.
No, 1 second now, just have to start it again, sorry. Okay, but so all the shops up and down the street, there would have been, I'm guessing, a litter of pubs, but probably 1 or 2 bakeries, and a couple of other family shops as well.
Yeah.
Were they that stuck out in your mind?
Oh yeah, I remember them. But basically we wouldn't, well I personally wouldn't be going into any of the other ones. First of all, you hadn't got the money to be going in. You know, you just had to maybe stick with Bridgie for the few things you wanted, but there wasn't a case of a big shop around once a week up to Baldy Joe Murphy's or anything like that. Like, you just didn't make that. everyone did their own thing, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I heard people from up around Barrack Street, what they used to say was when they went shopping, they were just going, oh, I'm just going to go shopping down Barrack Street there. And when they went for the big shop, they were just like, I'm going down to town. And they know exactly where they're going.
Well,
they're going
that's
down
right,
to the
yeah.
city, you know,
Yeah,
to do the shop.
Yeah, down the town, yeah.
Yeah. But,
Sure, they'd even say downtown, he's from uptown. You know, so uptown and downtown.
yeah. And you were saying something about the ropes around the poles and that. Would the girls have ever got in trouble for that from the guards or anything?
Not so much in trouble, like, you know, they might be told by a neighbour to take that down, it's dangerous, you know what I mean? Or maybe an odd guard might. But generally speaking, no. I know they were good at it. Oh gosh, they get on these things, right? Shot with the swings and some more, they'd fly around these boards, and the thing would wrap all around and then back around again. And they had certain rhymes as well for playing beddies and this sort of thing, kicking a stone along.
Would you remember any of them?
No, I used to play it. I watched a lot time. No. Oh, they had, yeah. Or even with balls against the wall, throwing the ball up and throwing the other, catching it and saying a certain rhyme, you know. But it became an art in itself, like, I mean, since everyone could do it, you had to get good at it.
I heard of a couple of lads playing handball up against short course, you know, the
Oh
post
yeah,
offices.
handball was great, yeah. And the cock standard was the name of the ball. As one of my friends just called a cocker standard. I said it was a cock standard. Oh yeah, handball was good.
And then there's all the things that, another thing that's bakeries and Blas I think were quite iconic, I suppose, to Waterford.
Oh yeah.
And nowhere else as well.
Still there.
Yeah. But there's slang as well that is being lost. Say like Shalky Bookie.
Shalky Bookie.
Shalky Bookie. And you know, you ask somebody, what is that these days? They won't have a clue. And Gallibander as well.
Gallibander, that's right.
Yeah. Are there any other ones that you would have...
Often referred to as a galley. You thrown your galley. I tell you, they were lethal.
Yeah.
You get a good shot with them, and the paper hardened up, maybe wet it and leave it dry, it'd be very hard. And leave that go, and watch out, if it hits you in the face, you were gone.
Are there any other ones that you can remember?
Just trying to think of them now.
Maybe you can describe what they are.
And see, if I was thinking long enough, I'd probably think of some of them. But there was loads of them around, sure. Sure, even with names, there was a teacher in Mount Sion, John Gloucester. His name was John F. Gloucester. But we always refer to him as, who's on say John F. Gloucester wasn't mentioned, you know what I mean? That became his name, John F. We had another brother there, an old brother teaching us, and he was known as Lardy. And the reason being, he'd say the lard. It wouldn't be the Lord, he'd say the lad. So it became to us now Lardy, Brother Lardy.
Did he know about it?
Hmm?
Did he know about it?
Not at all, no, tribes no. I know, all done in secret.
Yeah. But say if you did go up to a bakery now and you were to get a blah, do you eat blahs, you do?
Yeah.
What kind of blah would you eat? Would you eat the soft ones or the crusty ones?
Both. I like the crusty ones, I am.
Yeah, I find it hard to find people that actually prefer the soft ones. You know?
Yeah.
People usually prefer the crusty ones. I don't know why. I prefer the soft ones.
Well, sometimes, I mean, Harney's has, to my mind, one of the best blahs ever. But sometimes you can get a blah, and when you open it, there's sort of lumps of dough inside it. It's not as if another bit of coke and might have got it right, you know. Or we were connoisseurs of the blah. Don't even know how it got that name. Blah.
Not sure either.
Although, through the saying at one time, people say, she's a proper blah face. That wasn't a very nice compliment. French flat face or a blah face.
Yeah. And trying to think there now.
But there were sayings like someone would come back to you, if you were dressed in a new clothes or something, you might have someone say, oh God, you're sticking out today. That meant you look good, you're sticking out. There's somebody should have written down all the different sayings because they were fantastic. They described to a T what the whole thing was about, you know.
And
I'm being attacked.
I thought the walls were talking there for a second. But I think the sayings that they are lost in a way. But some of them are still around, and we don't realise that they're sayings.
They're all around.
Yeah, but until we go away and we're saying something so casually, and then somebody's just like, "What are you on about?"
Yeah, yeah.
You know.
Especially the Waterford sayings. It's a pity I didn't think of that before that I could have written them down. But there's hundreds of them, like, you know. So when you're asked a question, you're saying, can't remember, like, you know. But
yeah.
And even the description of somebody, say, he's a no good, a no gooder. You know what I mean? There's another good one, a no gooder.
When you were going to school, what did you wear?
And the primary short pants, and a sweater. In the secondary, long pants, a sweater, same thing.
And footwear?
Footwear, well, in the good old days, the war days and that, thank God I had footwear. But a lot of the boys hadn't. They'd barefoot to school. And if your shoes needed mending, it was common practice to mend them with the tire of a bicycle. And when you came out of these, you were bouncing along 3 foot tall walking on these tires. But they lost it, and they were good. But things had to be done, you know what I mean? You had to make ends meet at that time, so that's what I done, this bicycle.
And would you have been looked at differently if you came to school without shoes?
No, funnily enough, no, it would not. But I tell you one thing, the guys who had no shoes, their feet were as good as leather. They were able to run down over cobblestones and everything, didn't seem to feel any pain. Whereas if I took off my shoes and you'd be feeling a prickle here, you know, they got quite used to it. Yeah.
Would it be out playing football and everything with it?
Oh yeah. Sure, there was years ago, the Waterford soccer team, they went, I can't remember what country they went to, I think it was Iceland, but they were playing the team in their bare feet. One of the lads was saying I was terrified of standing on their toes, you know, but their feet were just like leather, toughened up. And it was a great thing too in those days, the older days, going down to the gas house for turf or something with a truck. His office, the uncle was running out with his trucks, and they were good drivers, flying down Barrack Street with a truck, no brakes, and negotiate the corner, coming back then with 2 bags of turf on it.
What would have been one of your first memories then around Barrack Street, would you think?
My first memories of Barrack Street? Couldn't say anyway, just accepted it. That's where the school was and that was it.
Do you remember your first day at school?
I do. I tried to run away. It is, yeah. Lucky my mother saw me. She left me at the gate, and I thought she was gone, and started an extra run, but I was caught. I didn't.
Who caught you?
She just, my poor mother, put me back in again. I don't know. It was a big experience, you know, you're going away, so you're what, 5 years of age or something. But the three teachers, Miss Hinnigan, Miss O'Shea and Miss Durkin, they were three lovely ladies. I managed big classes, like, you know. I heard that God, they kept us quiet, I couldn't tell you, but they did, you know. They had an air of authority that you respected, and yet they were kind. You know what I mean? And going through then the different brothers or teachers you had, you'd always end up at the end of school time naming certain brothers that meant more to you than others. Maybe for just their kindness or the attention they gave you know what I mean? Yeah.
Can you remember anything else from your first day or your days of going to school?
Not really, no. No, just,
What was it like being in that class with all these faces that you probably didn't know?
I wonder who the hell they all were. What was I doing here? I'd be surprised after a day or two you got friendly with different guys and that, you know, the fun started, apart from learning. It was a bit of fun as well. I think they made it that way, that it wasn't too severe in the earlier childhood days that, you know, that turned you off school forever. I know they're quite good. I'd have the highest regard for Mount Sion anyway. Wouldn't hold any complaints or anything else. And all the lads I went to school with, I think, would feel the same. We often laugh about certain things that happened, but nothing sort of so serious that we want to leave school, you know. No. It's the same all over, isn't it?
And so when you were in school, do you have any friends for life from Mount Sion?
I have a lot of friends, yeah. We continued on. But once you leave school then, everyone goes their own way and you might meet them downtown or something. But the friendships don't go on to personal friendship where you would meet them every week or what have you. Not with me anyway. Not that I was stuck up or anything, but yeah, everyone did their own thing. A lot of the lads in my class now ended up in different parts of the country working for the Met Office or ESB of the country somewhere, or, you know, they all got good jobs.
Were there any big names that came from Mount Sion?
Oh yeah, a lot of big names. You had, of course, the president of the GA, Pat Fanning, he was never on a sign by. He's dead now, God be worse for term. He was one. And there's quite a lot. Anywhere you go, you'll find a Canuck by somewhere, you know.
It's something else that I wanted to ask. I'm just trying to think about it now. Is there anything I haven't asked that you want to add?